What's going on, people? It is Irish Gunner HD here, you can call me Irish, and today I thought I would do a kind of comprehensive roundup of all the Battlefield news that's come out in the last couple of days, from DICE charging for Battle Pack, the Hardline leak and like later confirmation, and then the fact that Battlefield 3 is free on Origin until the 3rd of June, so little table of contents for the video. First up, I just wanted to say thank you to my buddy Ryan, aka Fear the Moment. His channel link will be in the description. He's going to record the gameplay for this video. I think it should just be BF3 because he doesn't actually own BF4 at the minute, so I hope that's all good with you guys. But yeah, he's been sound enough, he's been very nice enough to record the gameplay. I'm going to send him the commentary, he's going to render the video and send it back to me, and I'm going to upload it because, as you know, if you've seen the last video, can't play games that are intensive on the CPU like Battlefield and stuff like that, and I can't render videos because that's incredibly intensive on the CPU, as you can imagine. So final thing before we get going is apologies for my voice. I think I was snoring last night or something because my voice is killing me, and yeah, so if it sounds a little deeper or boring or there's not as much kind of inflection in the words as usual, my bad, but my throat is kind of messed up. But anyway, yeah, so all the news that it will be I'm going to present it. I have all the notes written out here. All the news will be presented as it was leaked or revealed, and then my personal thoughts on the whole thing will come at the end. And all news is taken from mp4s.com. I've seen the other things. I've seen things on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Reddit and all that. I've seen all the other different sites, but for just keeping it organised, all my sources for what I talk about are going to be linked in the description in order from mp4s.com. So first up, DICE charging for battle packs. I expected this from the start, to be quite honest. I made a video about it it's actually one of my more popular videos. I called it, the video is called What Rival X Factor Missed, because just before I made that video, X Factor, before BF4 came out, had made a video talking about the fact that battle packs were going to be a thing in the game, and I thought they were going to be kind of like FIFA packs. If you know FIFA packs, basically it's the FIFA Online Ultimate Team thing. You pay real money to get FIFA points or whatever they're called, and you buy packs basically, and it contains a lot of players and accessories and things, managers and boosts and stuff like that. That's naturally what I expected. What I expected battle packs to be. I expected them to charge them, whether it was €5 for 4 gold packs, 5 gold packs, whatever it was. That's honestly what I was expected, and then I was quite proud. Then, to be completely honest, I was quite proud when DICE and EA decided not to charge for them. But we should have known. We should have known that eventually it was only a matter of time before they stuck a price tag on it. So that's what happened recently, just before the Hardline news broke. This has all happened in about 2 days, by the way. All the stuff that's broken has broken in the last 2 days. So, and typical, my computer is broken. I can't make videos when the news finally does come, but however. Yeah, so the prices aren't awful, to be completely honest. It's $1. I'm assuming it's universal. $1, €1, £1, whatever. $1 for bronze battle packs, 2 for silver, and 3 for gold. But that's not even the point, to be completely honest. The price of them, the fact that they're cheap and all that, it's not even the point. It's kind of I don't want to be one of those people say to people, oh, we were lied to, we were promised this and that. We weren't promised anything, but we just I feel let down after being so proud of them to not charge. You can still earn them in game, now keep that in mind. You can still earn them through experience and all those kind of things, like the weapon battle pack specifics for leveling up the weapons or whatever, or getting certain amount of kills. But the fact that they're now charging for them, considering it's a scummy move, considering the state of the game is still fairly broken in the public release, at least. I know CTE is doing pretty good, but I don't know. I have to say, I'm not even interested in BF4 to the point that I actually care anymore. I'm only mentioning it now because it's news, it's big news. But overall, the fact that I like Battlefield 4 and I do enjoy playing it when I can, but I don't. It's not like Battlefield 3 for me. It's completely just something that I every now and again just slide into, shoot some people in the face and leave. It's not I never got into BF4 as much as I got into BF3. As far as playing Conquest and Rush goes and stuff like that, playing the big game modes, every now and then I don't mind jumping in and playing some domination and stuff like that. But anyway, we've gone completely off the point. But basically, yeah, that's it. I don't even care. That's a thing. You can now buy battle packs if you want. So there you go. Now moving on to the juicy stuff. Initial Hardline leak. So in one day, a leak from the battle log code, turned into a full game announcement. That's pretty unheard of, I think, to go from in not even a day, less than 24 hours, I think, from the person researching looking into the battle log code and finding the well, I'll just explain it here. The leak contained the logo for the new game, weapons, list of the weapons, list of the unlocks, list of the vehicles, list of the locations, and more. And full details will be, of course, in the link in the MP1st article. They have all the weapons and pictures and stuff like that. If I was editing the video myself, I'd throw up the photos now here, but obviously Ryan is doing the editing, so I can't actually do that. But yeah, so it mentions new game modes like Blood, Money and Heist, and I explain them further down on in the article after the trailer leak, or in the video, sorry. As well as the kits having new names but familiar icons, so they've still got like the kind of the assault, engineer, the support and recon, but they've got different names now. The kit names are Operator, Mechanic, Enforcer and Professional, so interesting. And rather than it being US versus Russia, or US versus China, or US versus Russia versus China, it'll be cops and robbers, essentially kind of SWAT versus thieves, or heist people or whatever. Basically, it all ties in with the unannounced Frostbite game that was announced for E3's presentation on kind of E3's presentation list thing that leaked out a couple of weeks ago. There was an unannounced Frostbite. I keep struggling on that word. Unannounced Frostbite game announced for the quarter 4 of 2014. So this has obviously been released to be what that is. So the initial leak then also revealed that it was a PC, Xbox One, PS4, Xbox 360 and PS3, and it will once again have a Battlefield Premium subscription service. So, two things there. Premium, okay, right. I will talk about that later. And then Xbox and 360 and PS3. Really? I know it's still a big market, but like, Jesus Christ. I don't know if it's going to be the kind of game that's going to be so graphically intensive as it will be held back by being on them, but something about the fact that they still develop for those systems, I don't get it. But yeah, I wish they wouldn't do that, but that's what the leak said. So, moving on then, the official site was launched with the announcement, as ever, the link below, with the kind of full site itself, will be in the description. So, they confirmed the title as Battlefield Hardline, and the official site the official site is linked in the description, of course. It will be released in the autumn, or the fall if you're American. Statement made, and that can be found, like, there was a statement made by, I think it's the Visceral Vice President or whatever, or the DICE or EA or one or the other. Somebody made a statement anyway, and that'll be in the links below as well. And E3 unveiling will come on the 9th of June 2014, so in about 2 weeks I think that is. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty good, pretty close as well. Like I heard 9th of June and I was like, oh god, that's all the way in the summer. And then I remembered it's like the end of May, so that's pretty stoky. But yeah, so that was the third thing to happen, that was the third kind of leak or whatever confirmation that was announced. Then the trailer leaked. Again, keep in mind, this is all in the space of 24 hours. This is nuts. So, the trailer leaked then, and link in the description will give you more details than I go into here, of course. But the main highlights that I took away were, in the multiplayer section, zip lining and grappling hook was featured, and grappling hook has been something that people have asked for a lot in Battlefield 4. Not really sure why. It's a cool feature and I would like to see it, but I don't know why it's like the kind of holy grail for some people of like, get me this in the game and it will be awesome and I will love it forever and it will be my squishy and I will love it and it will be my squishy. Like, I don't know what the deal with the grappling hook is, but anyway, that's the grappling hook and zip lining from building to building has been featured, so that should be like a feature in the multiplayer. Primarily American urban scene. Oh, sorry, I should mention that I didn't actually get to see the trailer. I was asleep, so like it leaked during the night for me, so I was asleep and I missed the actual trailer. It had been taken down by like almost all sources that had the trailer on YouTube and all that. Like, I couldn't find it. EA basically just nuked all of them from what I could see. But yeah, so I didn't actually see it, so I can't like verify that these are the points. But according to the MP1st article, this is what we've got going on. So primarily American urban setting with different, obviously not only American, but I thought that was interesting considering it's always been in Russia or in China or in like somewhere other than America. They very rarely have like Battlefield set in America, so, or like the idea of America, like the Chicago looking or New York looking kind of maps or whatever. But being that it's SWAT versus thieves and it's not an all-out war, you're not going to be taking down the Freedom Tower or like whatever. So they probably didn't have a big problem with it. So game modes detailed. So here we go into the detail of the game modes. The first one, and the names of them as well. So first one, heist. Cops must stop criminals from blowing open a bank vault and making off with the loot. So obviously Payday 2 comparisons are being made already. That will kind of come, and we'll see that in the future if that actually turns out to be the case. That's what it's sounding like, that's what it's looking like, and I quite enjoyed. I've never actually bought Payday 2, but I played it recently when it was free on Steam, and I really enjoyed it. So as soon as I can afford it, I'd like to pick up Payday 2. So the fact that it is a payday-like game is kind of positive for me. So, next up is Rescue. SWAT forces move into hostile territory to rescue hostages during a robbery gone wrong. So I immediately thought of like Counter-Strike, the original kind of Counter-Strike source or whatever. Hostages and trying to get them from the terrorists and stuff. Not terrorists in this case, obviously just a robbery gone wrong, which is a cool kind of scene, but that should be interesting though. I'm looking forward to seeing kind of, do you have the option to like shoot the hostages? Do the SWAT team lose if every hostage dies or whatever like that? It's kind of grim, you know. But if that turns out to be the case, then we shall be in for a good time, I would imagine. Yeah, Hotwire. Cops pursue criminals through huge open environments depicting a high-speed chase in muscle cars and police cruisers. This sounds just kind of like an excerpt from like a single-player thing, so I'm not really sure how that'll play out. It sounds kind of cool, but at the same time, like if you're constantly on the go, if like the whole idea behind it is you have to constantly keep moving, it's definitely something different. And if nothing else, it's something different. I like the sound of it from the idea of never stopping, like just constantly going. You have to try and get away and stuff like that. It should be kind of cool. Just to continue on, an RPG wielding criminal is shown firing a rocket from the back of a moving van. Other combatants, it's a weird one when I say it, are also firing their weapons from their vehicles. So that should be really, really interesting. It does really sound like just a scene from a single player thing, but apparently it's a game mode in the multiplayer, so look forward to seeing how that pans out. And finally, Blood Money, which is cops and criminals fight over a large pile of money that they must secure and take back to their safe house. So essentially, a thieves and SWAT version of Capture the Flag, by the sounds of it. I'm curious to see how the money aspect works into it. I would like a kind of payday-esque situation where it's like, when you complete a heist, you get money, and that money goes towards buying weapons and unlocks and stuff like that, but like making them be priced accordingly to the amount of money that you steal and stuff. So like it balances out how you unlock them and stuff. I think that'd be kind of cool. But also like then obviously like the question that comes up is, well, if you only get unlocks by earning money as like a thief, by robbing money as a thief, how do you get money as a SWAT? I would imagine that you'd probably like get a payment or a reward or a bonus for like amount of people saved or hostages evacuated or whatever like that you're paid from, like I don't know, the government or whatever, or the police force or whatever. So something like that. Money would be an interesting thing, which is something that I think a lot of people are overlooking, like the money aspect of it. People seem to just think it's like a background aspect of just, oh yeah, you have to get money and bring it back and whatever. I think if they put that into like made an economy out of it, so like you got money, and the more money you got, the better guns and equipment that you get, until you have everything unlocked, and then it's all good. But anyway, moving on. Sorry. Locations in the video: inside of a subterranean grow lab, a bank vault, and areas reminiscent of Los Angeles, I think it says. So, as I said there, areas reminiscent of Los Angeles, so that's kind of the American thing that I was talking about. It's kind of interesting to see that, so again, we'll have to just look at that and see how it goes, but like that sounds kind of cool. A bank vault as well, like if it was like a big, huge bank vault, I'm assuming it's not just like somebody's like personal like walk-in bank vault where it's like you've got 10 feet of space, like I'm assuming it's kind of like a big like labyrinth kind of maze kind of thing or whatever, but again, have to see how it goes, but I like to look at that. Where are we? I got lost a little bit. Levolution events confirmed. I thought that was interesting. Like it's also up in the air for me. Like I'm thinking small maps, like in one building trying to rob a bank. Then they're talking about Levolution, and then there's the talk of the big, like the open environments from the Hotwire game mode and stuff. So I don't know. It's really all up in the air, kind of. But it's definitely kind of definitely interesting. Levolution's confirmed, so that's pretty good. I have confirmed in bracket, or like in quotes, so I'm assuming that's like confirmed, so we don't really know for sure, but we might have seen stuff in the trailer that like gave you the idea of Levolution, so like it's probably going to be there. As I said, zip lines and grappling hooks are included, and they can be used on the map, on any map, anywhere, so that's pretty interesting. Sorry, my throat is killing me, I'm just going to take a sip of my drink. Sorry guys. Vehicles include motorbikes, muscle cars, police cruisers, counter-attack trucks, boats, planes, and armed choppers. No mention of tanks or jets. So, I've seen, like, I think we've all seen, like, the pictures from, or you will have by now if you checked out the links on MP first, you'll have seen the pictures of, like, the icons for the vehicles. So there's, like, muscle cars and police cars and bikes and stuff like that. Interesting mix. Again, I don't really have too much to say, because it's just the fact that motorbikes are in it, that's kind of cool. Boats, planes, I didn't really expect planes to be in it. I seen a clip from the trailer in a Polygon video, I think. I seen one clip from the trailer of the A10 Warthog, I think, like coming down. on what looked like the Hotwire game mode as they were like making their escape through the open environment or whatever. That looked pretty interesting. Like interesting. The word is interesting. Basically, the game is looking interesting. All these different things that I just would not have expected. It's all just been such a big surprise. Yeah, no mention of tanks or jets. There is the A-10 Warthog, but there's not going to be like any fighter jets or anything like that, so that's kind of interesting. And then for the single player, I just took a couple of notes, just to quote it directly from the article. The story is, you play as Nick Mendoza, kind of a cheesy name if I'm honest, a young Miami detective who gets caught up in a few personal moral dilemmas. So, Nick Mendoza. Take it at what you will, it's kind of cheesy, but if it turns out to be good, we'll... I don't think we'll be able to complain. He embarks on a cross-country quest to seek revenge against once trusted partners on the force. Yeah, it's a little bit kind of Miami Vice for me. But again, if they do it right, it will be good. So each level is structured like an episode of a TV show, so kind of further enforcing the Miami Vice aspect. But that's also kind of cool, like episodic kind of levels or... It doesn't seem to be like an open world kind of Skyrim, whatever you like, Watch Dogs, GTA kind of thing. Like you do one level, you clear it, that's the end of that episode. You move on to the next one, a new thing has happened, blah blah blah. Interesting buzzword of the day. It's interesting, it's cool. It should be fun to watch, or fun to play, should I say? And then I just noted that the trailer has been removed from almost all the sources I could find. Only that Polygon video, which is like little tiny snippets of it. Apparently it was a full 7-minute trailer that was leaked, so I only caught little snippets. So yeah, that's that for the trailer leak. And then just really quickly, the character models were revealed from Battlelog portraits. So as you'd expect, what you'd imagine, general heist job kind of gear, balaclavas and stuff like that, and then just like a general SWAT team, bulletproof vest and mask and helmet and stuff like that. So nothing too interesting there, but next up then in the timeline, again, all in just one day, a statement was made by the Visceral Games general manager, Steve, I'm going to murder this, Papoutsis? Papoutsis? I'm not sure, something Greek. His tweet said, the video that's out there was for an internal meeting. It's 6 months old now, and the team has been cranking since then. See the real deal at E3. So basically, the video, after everything that I just talked about, is 6 months ago for an internal presentation kind of thing, just to talk about like, what they had going on over there. So they've added a lot more, like they've updated it and stuff like that since then. So it's interesting, like interesting to know that. So all of those features that we just talked about, all those game modes that were released and stuff like that, they're 6 months old now. So there's another 6 months work on top of that. So again, looking forward to seeing what they have to show at E3, so it should be really good. Interestingly, an EA QA tester was fired for leaking the info, so that's kind of weird. Like usually these leaks happen and it's like always an anonymous source and nobody ever finds out who leaks it. Whoever leaked that info was found out and fired, basically. He has no job anymore at EA. So that's kind of interesting. God, I have to get a new word. But yeah, so moving on then, just the last point there. DICE are handling the multiplayer. Take that for what you will. DICE are handling the multiplayer, and Visceral will be handling the single player, according to this. Like I said, take that for what you will. I'm not really sure what to think of that. It's kind of like, I'm not going to say interesting, don't worry. It's kind of like, take it for what you will. Like, I was looking forward to Visceral doing the multiplayer, to just get DICE away from it completely and let them work on all the other things that they're working on. Let just Visceral take complete control of it. The fact that they're still going to be doing the work with the multiplayer, which they like mucked up so badly for BF4, I don't know. It's like the way I think about it when it comes to single player game, when it comes to single player parts of multiplayer games. When we're hearing that Visceral are making the next Battlefield, well, they're not. They're making the next Battlefield single player, the same way Danger Close made the Medal of Honor single player and DICE made the multiplayer. You know, that kind of way. Like if you ask me, I think honestly DICE are making the next Battlefield. Like, DICE are making Battlefield Hardline with input from Visceral, because DICE are making the multiplayer, and the multiplayer is the thing that we were actually going to be talking about and playing the most of. So when you realistically think about it, DICE are making Battlefield Hardline. That's the way. That's an interesting. Interesting, that word. God damn it! But that's just another aspect of it that I never really thought of until I read that line. So yeah, so Anyway, then as I was writing this article, I thought I'd finished, and then as I was writing it, I refreshed MP1st just to see if anything had popped up, and lo and behold, the game is up for pre-order on Origin, or at least it was. I didn't actually check it. That's my bad. I should have checked that when I was doing my research before I started recording. But at the time of writing, the game was up for pre-order on Origin. Standard PC download at 60 quid, it's $59.99, and the deluxe PC download for $10 more at $69.99. So it's usual, $60 and $70 respectively. Battlefield Hardline. Oh, here's the tagline for the on the Origin thing. Battlefield Hardline is a first-person action game set against the backdrop of the war on crime and the battle between cops and criminals. Check back on June 9th at 1 PM PDT for more information and videos from Battlefield Hardline, including a more detailed description of the bonus content included in the digital deluxe edition. So, all is to come at June 9th. So, we can really look forward to that, I'd imagine. That's going to be a big day for video makers everywhere. Ultimate trailer breakdown analysis, HD 4K ultra news. Yeah, that's going to be a good day. But yeah, so that's everything as it happened, as it leaked, and that's Battlefield Hardline basically in a nutshell. As ever, like I said, all the descriptions will be in the description, or all the links, sorry, will be in the description in order for you to check out yourself and read more in depth on. But now it is time for my thoughts. I hesitantly look forward to it. Admittedly, I thought it was some kind of free-to-play, when the leaked weapons and equipment and vehicles and stuff like that were, they're limited. Like, if you look at the list and the pictures, excuse me, if you look at the list and the pictures, there's like 20, 30 weapons and equipment, like, combined, and like 10, 20 vehicles altogether. Like, it's not a lot, so, yeah, and like something about the art style didn't really kind of look up to scratch. I don't know if this was because like they were from 6 months ago or what, but something about the graphic design and like the kind of the guns, they didn't look as kind of rough and crisp and clear and contrast looking as they do on Battlefield 3 and 4's kind of like pictures for them and stuff. So yeah, something about that just kind of made me think it was free to play. Like it was just going to be, oh, like they're going to just throw a free to play that's kind of better than Heroes or whatever the Battlefield free to play thing is. But no, yeah, no, it turned out it is like the next game, $60 AAA kind of thing. So I used the word again, I'm sorry. It will be interesting to see such a drastic change in the Battlefield lineup. So interesting once again. Yeah, I think something so different. I know a lot of people do the whole kind of, oh, we want something different, we want something different, we want something different, we're sick of the same thing. They give us something different. Oh, this is different, this isn't different, this isn't Battlefield, this isn't Battlefield, get the hell out of it. Like, for me, it's going to be cool. I love the heist idea, and Payday 2, as I said earlier, is a lot of fun. A Battlefield take on this, in my opinion, could be excellent. I was almost going to say would there, but no, it could be excellent. And the fact that it's not a focus at DICE, even though I did say that I do believe DICE are actually the ones behind it since they're doing the multiplayer, the fact that it's not a main focus of them shouldn't be surprising, because like they have Battlefront 3, they've got Mirror's Edge 2, and possibly their own future Battlefield 5, like, or Battlefield 3, or Bad Company 3, sorry, game in the works. Like they've got those games in the works, possibly. Well, not possibly for Mirror's Edge and Battlefront, we know that, but and they're still you have to keep in mind, they're still working at the issues with Battlefield 4. As sad as that is to say, they are still like plugging away at the bugs and the glitches, and they've got the CTE and stuff like that to try and work out the cause of Battlefield 4. So the fact that they are taking a step back and just like letting another team take the single player shouldn't be a big surprise, like really shouldn't. But my advice, or sorry, no, that's the last point. After Battlefield 4, I'm completely holding back my actual excitement. Like my kind of, I'm excited a little bit, but like I'm not getting into it as much as I get into Battlefield 3, like, or Battlefield 4 for that matter. No, I got confused. Sorry, Battlefield 3 got very excited, wasn't really disappointed. I really liked Battlefield 3. Got really excited for Battlefield 4, was kind of let down. Not as much as other people, but I was kind of let down. So for Battlefield Hardline, I'm kind of holding back my actual excitement, my actual judgment, and my money until it's out. I'll be waiting until I see the general consensus, like any kind of like reading around Reddit and YouTube and Twitter, and like people that I actually trust, like people whose opinions I actually trust and value, before I even remotely consider buying it. And I'd advise you guys to do the same. Like if you've gotten this far, I'd advise that you definitely don't go out and pre-order it straight away. My advice, is the last point that I started on there a minute ago. My advice, don't pre-order it, no matter what goodies they offer. Hold back until we find out exactly what we're getting. Leave it to the likes of Level Cap and Jack Frags and stuff like that. Let them pick it up on release. Let them pre-order. Let them get all the other stuff first. Watch the footage. Listen to what they have to say. Don't take it as gospel, because they aren't, like, considering they have partnerships and deals and stuff like that with DICE and EA and whatever. They aren't terribly reliable sources. Like, they're definitely not the worst. They're the best sources in that kind of, like, high bracket, if you ask me. But, like, they are definitely not, like, the holy grail of reliable sources or unbiased opinions. So definitely look around to other kind of smaller channels, other people, other friends and stuff like that, whose opinions that you value. Sorry, my throat really is just killing me. Look around for other people's whose opinions you value. Like, look around on Reddit, in the Battlefield Hardline or whatever it's going to be, Reddit, like subreddit. Check out on Twitter and stuff like that. Look around, ask people, talk to people before you give them your money. Don't make that mistake again, people. That's the problem. We keep just pre-ordering it and spending all our money on it and giving all our money and buying all the DLCs and stuff like that and buying the premium. Don't do it this time. I'm not going to be. I know I should for the sake of my YouTube channel. It would be great to get some, like, first early access, gameplay, blah blah blah, first day, bullshit. But, like, realistically, I'm not doing it again. I'm not falling into the trap again. So, well, I say again, I picked up Battlefield 4 2 weeks late, so, but yeah, just don't. I would please advise you to just don't, for the sake of the future of the Battlefield. If they just keep seeing that they can do that, they will. So, finally, second finally, Battlefield 3 is free on Origin, sorry, until the June the 3rd. So the link down there, of course, in the description. Check it out. And finally, major BF3 netcode update coming and more. So, a short statement from Carl Magnus Trudson talking about the community and test environment and a public netcode patch that will come, because as you know, the CTE has been patched and updated and stuff like that, and it's apparently going great now. They're eventually, soon, by the looks of it, going to be putting out that publicly. So us players on the kind of public servers and stuff will finally get the advantages of the testing in the CTE. So that's going to be super good. I can't wait to try that out. But oh yeah, and as well as continuing to add more features like squad join and all those other things that they added recently for, like, console and stuff like that. But I think that's about it. I've pretty much said everything. I might have stumbled over my words and my voice probably didn't sound that great, because as I said, sore throat. But that's it. If you enjoyed it, I do appreciate you sticking through this, like, nearly half an hour long video. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.